Hey friends, welcome back to Checked In with Splash. If you're new here, I'm Camille Whitestern. I lead experiential marketing here at Splash and am obsessed with helping other marketers reach new heights of success and unlock new levels of career growth, all by breaking down the keys to impactful event marketing and the steps required to achieve event led growth. It's one of the reasons I'm so passionate about the work we do here at Splash, empowering modern marketers around the world to simplify their processes, amplify their brand, and measure results with a single tool to create, manage, and market events to grow their business. Today, I'm excited to share our CMO, Kate Hammitt's session at Nearbound. Kate not only defines event led growth as a go to market strategy that uses events as the primary customer acquisition and retention channel, she breaks down why this go to market motion is the most powerful way to grow your business today. And this episode also features a special conversation between Kate and a Splash hero and living legend, Gainsight's Director of Field and Partner Marketing, Emily Wilkes. It's an illuminating and inspiring discussion between two marketing pros, and I'm sure you'll be left wanting to learn more from Emily's playbook. We're in for a treat, y'all, with this episode. Let's go ahead and get checked in with Kate and Emily.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kate Hammitt, the CMO of Splash, an event platform tailor-made to help you drive pipeline and retention. We empower the world's leading brands with a single tool to create, manage, and market events to grow your business. I'm so excited to be a part of the Nearbound Summit today. I want to say a special thanks to the Reveal and Nearbound teams for having me, and to all of you for joining this session. So let's get right to it. As revenue leaders, we have all done events in some form or fashion. So I want to start by defining event-led growth. And while events are not a new tactic, they're arguably the most powerful growth lever for modern GTM teams. So when we say event-led growth, we're talking about a holistic go-to-market strategy rooted in events. This means creating scalable event programs, driving real value for your stakeholders and growth for your business. Ultimately, this is more than your one-off event or annual trade show activation. Imagine being able to foster authentic connection, establish deep trust, and inspire meaningful engagement with your buyers year-round. We successfully employ the event-led growth motion here at Splash. Our platform was created out of necessity by an event planner, and we certainly drink our own champagne. Today, I'm going to share the event types that drive revenue, including specific tactics that fuel our close-won business, increase our win rates, and enhance our customer retention. I'll also talk about some of the results that our customers and major enterprise brands are seeing when they deploy event-led growth on a far grander scale than us. So let's set our baseline here and debunk the myth that marketing events are just another large expense. The reality is that events, plural, can be the highest performing channel across each phase of the buyer's journey. There's no better way to gain brand awareness, build trust, or engage your audience. Events allow you to own your audience and create a real relationship with lasting value beyond what a digital ad or ebook download can provide to the end user. And depending on your strategy, you can deliver value in a variety of customized ways to maximize the impact. This is how you turn leads into champions at scale. So breaking it down, we create demand with events. This is where you share your thought leadership. You help educate the market on the problem, and then you repurpose that event content and share across channels to fuel your other GTM efforts. We can capture demand with events, introduce and teach your audience about solutions to their problems, your brand and new ways of thinking, help them upskill and unlock new levels of success, connect the audience to each other and foster community. And events in this phase are all about creating real relationships between your GTM teams and the buying committee, rooted in education, entertainment, and value. Events are critical to retain, renew, and expand. Events solidify the core elements of partnership with your customer. That human connection cannot be replaced, and it's nearly impossible to replicate through other channels. Events optimize the use of your tools and services, allowing your customers and partners to get better results. And they can create genuine affinity that makes your champions want to evangelize to others. We've all likely experienced aspects of these outcomes, but the difference is night and day when you go from simply doing an event to deploying an event-led growth GTM motion, thereby unlocking a powerful, scaled marketing channel. So where do you begin to dial up your investments? Which event types are the most effective revenue growth drivers? And how do we go from one-off events to investing in programs? What is the path to scale? So the first step is parsing out your business objectives and being incredibly clear about the business metrics that you're aiming to influence. This is how you'll measure and define success. Ultimately, many of us are working to generate pipeline and move slowly moving or stuck ops through the funnel faster. Old school marketers hear B2B events and think that means sponsoring booths at conferences, but that mindset and strategy is outdated. So here's how we think about our marketing mix at Splash and how many of our customers talk through event-led growth through a traditional funnel. So large-scale third-party events like conferences and trade shows, coupled with webinars and virtual events, which can have massive audience reach, serve us in the top of funnel for brand awareness. The catch, these events are only effective if you're delivering true subject matter expertise and thought leadership. You need to deeply understand your market with content that breaks through the noise. At Splash, we're seeing an average webinar attendance rate of over 70% and 1,000 plus registrations. So if you deliver the value, they will come. We see more solution-based and product-led events at the middle of the funnel, both in person and virtual, the latter of which can be incredibly cost-effective and efficient. Here's where you need to deliver best practices and dive deep into the use cases you support. It's not enough anymore to just show your product. A canned demo won't work. People want to get better at their job or progress in their career and get real frameworks they can use. And at the bottom of the funnel, we're seeing more curated and targeted in-person events perform incredibly well. What's working here is investing heavily into experiential with a focus on building community. And at the end of the day, B2B buyers still want those B2C experiences. More and more, marketing teams are getting off the old lead gen and MQL hamster wheel. But this doesn't mean brands don't need to drive awareness and engage prospects at the top of the funnel who are earlier on in their evaluation process. Yes, we know that modern buyers want 95% of their journey to be self-guided, but that doesn't mean we don't need meaningful touch points early on in that journey. And this is where investments in annual trade shows and conferences come in. And I'm not talking about the boring and stale conferences of yesteryear. Today's third-party events are not what they used to be. Many of them are morphing into epic multi-day mega events that resemble B2C festivals more than anything else. And that means how you show up needs to stand out beyond a traditional booth sponsorship. Modern GTM leaders are developing thoughtful conference and trade show strategies that leverage cross-functional execution in a tiered approach. Events with the highest concentration and attendance of your ICP warrant a bigger presence and a larger investment. It has to go beyond the booth. A tier one investment could include hosting brand-owned events like a VIP dinner that brings prospects and customers together while simultaneously maximizing your Nearbound efforts by co-marketing a happy hour with key partners. These are just two examples of how to amplify your brand presence at a conference and connect more meaningfully with your prospects beyond just scanning their badge at your booth or handing out swag. We know that 84% of deals are won by the company or seller who reaches the buyer first. This means now, more than ever, when remote and distributed workforces have impacted when and how we're able to connect in real life with our buyers, since email and a lot of other channels are totally saturated, you need to meet the buyer, truly meet the buyer where they are. And don't forget that third-party events are also a very convenient way to engage and ultimately renew and expand your customer base too. So we see a spike in brand awareness and pre-pipeline generation from your collection of activations at these annual large tentpole events. That's the booth, the happy hour, the lounge with your partner, and your boots on the ground. But the once-a-year brand summit, while an important part of the marketing mix, is not enough to bring the modern buyer through that demand journey. Today's buyer expects a bespoke experience in exchange for their time. And that's a tall order for the annual conference with thousands of other attendees. Spending the big budgets here can have excellent business outcomes, but if you're doing a large scale event for 3 days out of the year, what is your buyer doing for the other 362 days a year? You need to drive connection, value, trust, engagement, and learning in order to impact pipeline. And if the annual trade shows perform well in your strategy, you already have a target audience that's well positioned for an event-led growth motion. This is where having a holistic event-led growth strategy becomes critical. Depending on where they are in their buyer journey, your prospects and customers will have different needs. The one-size-fits-all flagship events aren't a silver bullet for meeting a range of buyer expectations. You need that set of event programs, the repeatable, scalable events that allow you to nurture buyers on their journey to becoming brand champions. Investing in large events is a great place to start, but this only scratches the surface of possible ROI from a full-blown event-led growth strategy. There's even more added benefit when you consider how webinars and virtual events can fuel the rest of the marketing mix. What's great about these types of events is how they allow us to work more efficiently. The best video clips, quotes, and learnings from these authentic experiences can be repurposed across all your marketing channels. This content further drives your dark social content strategy so you can meet the buyer where they are and not just in real life. This is the stuff your audience would be motivated to share with peers in their online communities and forward to teammates on email and on Slack, which goes back to my earlier point about delivering value. The more we can generate positive momentum, brand awareness, etc., through these dark social efforts or through our Nearbound efforts by offering real value to prospects, customers, and partners, the more we ensure success of other revenue generating types of events like the bespoke, hyperlocal, in real life event or roadshow. Emily Wilkes from Gainsight will join me in a moment to help us unpack that particular strategy. But before she does, let's recap. Why is event-led growth thriving in today's business landscape? It's because we are all keenly aware, the buyer has completely changed over the last 5 years. On average, there are upwards of 30 required touch points along the buyer's journey. This number is up from 17 in 2019. Brands need new tactics to meet buyers on their terms and where they are now. They want to do product research independently and not talk to a salesperson until they're ready to make that connection. They deeply trust their peer group and community recommendations. And they want to remain anonymous until they don't. And when they're no longer anonymous, they expect the conversation to be personalized and highly valuable. And that's where event-led growth comes in. So these are some of the results we see from our event programs at Splash. From our Magic Spark VIP dinner program and our Splash Circle customer programs, we see an average of 70+% attendance rate across events, a 10% increase in win rates in most of our segments, and some getting to as high as 20%. Fewer days to close, faster pipeline and sales velocity. We've seen new business ACV at 18% higher compared to deals not influenced by these programs. And we also see a massive increase in product usage with our customers and free users who attend events. For our clients seasoned in event-led growth, in some cases, they're executing up to 600 events a month. They are reporting in more pipeline from the event channel, increased revenue from the global event programs, 10x ROI from attendees versus non-event attendees, increased product adoption, and the ability to go from 1 event to 8 events per day globally, and coordinating events across 50 global offices. These results are wildly impressive, and here to join me today to share some of her winning playbook for Gainsight's field marketing programs is Emily Wilkes, Director of Field and Partner Marketing. Hi, Emily.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so excited to dig into your playbook a bit and get you to share how you've been able to achieve your own impressive results at Gainsight. How are you doing today?
Good. This is so fun. I was just looking in the chat. There's so many great people here. I think we have all events. It's been a rough couple of years, right? We're on the other side though. So I feel like we're up and to the right. We've hit bottom. It can't get worse than 2020 and all of the virtual events that we all did, but now live events are back. So I can't wait to talk about them.
I love it. I know. I always say that, event marketers, event people, we are truly the tip of the spear when it's happening in, just like 2020, it happens at the start with events and how we're interacting with our market. So we've definitely been through quite a bit, but I'm excited to talk about up and to the right, because I agree that's where we're heading.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Emily, I'd love to hear briefly about your field marketing programs and how they work in concert with your counterparts at Gainsight. So the folks who are running the conference and trade show aspects and the webinar strategies, I imagine there's a lot that goes into aligning each of these strategies and programs. And I'm curious if you can comment just briefly on how these event types are all deployed at Gainsight to kind of give us a level set.
Yeah, for sure. Great question. We do a lot of quarterly planning, as probably most folks here. We plan out by quarters. I have two counterparts. So I run our field marketing team, which if you think about are the more bespoke events and the things that you talked about, and we'll dig into a bit more. I have a counterpart who is our director of corporate events and another counterpart who is our director of demand gen. So going back to your funnel, how you were bringing up the different various stages of the funnel, our director of corp events, she focuses on that awareness bucket at the top of the funnel. And so she's thinking long-term and planning 6 months, 12 months, 18 months out on our trade shows, our conferences, our product launches, our sponsorships, the large things that, those big marquee events. And then our director of demand gen, in addition to a gazillion other things he's managing, he owns the webinars. So the three of us come together every quarter, and we usually work together on themes, goals, metrics, KPIs, and sort of take it from there and sort of, plan out each function. My team specifically with field marketing, while we do dabble in some of that awareness at the top with some maybe networking events, the majority of what we do kind of falls into the consideration bucket. The decision bucket, where we have like the sales acceleration events, the exec dinners, the road shows, the VIP events, the incentive programs. That's where we see a lot of my team spends their time, and that's where we see a lot of the ROI.
I love that. Can you paint us a picture of your current field and partner marketing programs at Gainsight? Give us like a super quick breakdown on how your team successfully deploys bespoke hyperlocal events.
Yeah, great. So thinking back to that funnel of, awareness, consideration, decision, retention, we're thinking about who are we marketing to at what stage of the funnel. So with the field marketing programs, a big focus this year has been on road shows with decreased travel budgets and folks not being able to travel to conferences. By us bringing our events to them where they live, our events are generally free, whereas, with conferences and trade shows and things, there's usually a paid ticket value there. So we're focusing on lots of dinners, exec dinners, bespoke experiences. We sponsored a Taylor Swift suite, for example. We brought a bunch of super VIP folks to see Taylor Swift on her Eras tour. And then, like I said, we've done these multiple road shows. And what's great about the road shows is they're super, like you said, hyper local. We're bringing the content to the folks where they live. And we're seeing some really great results there that we can probably dig a little bit more into.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more if you are willing to share just what results you've seen, what's been important, in your goal setting, and how it turned out on the other side. I mean, I imagine 100% close rate off of, a Taylor Swift Eras tour.
Yeah, that was a good one. Those don't happen often, but in terms of what we're trying to achieve with these programs and how we're looking at ROI, they are surprise and delight events. They are the bespoke events, but what we're looking at is pipeline attributed, so pipeline production that we're creating and influence pipeline. So with the road shows, and there's two of them that we did. So we did a Q1 roadshow we were calling the Eras Roadshow, which is a fun acronym, not only to correspond with Taylor Swift, but expansion, retention, adoption, scale. So it was a fun acronym. We went to 14 cities all over the globe, and we have a secret sauce for these roadshows where there's content, there's a little bit of thought leadership, we have customers, we have special guests, but we also have fun. Childlike joy is one of our values at Gainsight. So we had lots of fun activations at these roadshows. So folks are coming, they're getting something, like you said, they want to meet new people. They're looking for a job. They're trying to hire folks. They come to these roadshows to meet people in their local geo that they can connect with, learn something, and do something fun. So that's the theme for the roadshow. And whether it's the Eras one that we did in Q1 or in Q3, we did one called the Chef's Kiss Tour, which circles back to your comment about how do we plan. That was sort of a theme for the quarter for us. So our demand gen team was working on webinars that were called the Chef's Kiss. We had the Chef's Kiss Roadshow. So everything sort of tied together, and those were cooking classes and lunches that we did all over the country. We did 6 globally, actually. We did 16 of those. And so with those, it was a similar playbook, is that folks were coming at lunchtime to get something, lunch, cooking lesson. We were making pasta, meet new folks, network. We had raffles, we had giveaway, we had really high-end swag like aprons and cutting boards. And so that was bringing lots of folks together to do something fun. And then they leave there remembering Gainsight, having that moment. Our sales reps are making connections. It's all about nurturing our community of whether they're customers or prospective customers. We're helping the sales team really deepen and build relationships.
I love that. Tell me a little bit about the guest list and like the curation of, of the Chef's Kiss Tour as an example. What's the collaboration like with your team across the organization at Gainsight to get the right people in the room?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is what everyone struggles with. It's a lot of pulling reports. It's a lot of scraping data from various sources. And we use Splash has been one of our secret sauces, basically. We pull the lists from everywhere. We pull from Salesforce, we pull from LinkedIn, we pull from all variety of sources. We work with the sales team to create nominations for events. We build those lists, and then we create the landing pages. And one of the cool things I will say, if you're thinking about scaling or doing road shows, one of the things we found to be just a huge part of our roadshow success is Splash's hub feature. So we built these awesome landing pages for each individual city, but then we tied it to a larger master hub site. And what was cool is if we didn't know specifically where someone lived, like we think you live in Boston, we think you live in Chicago, but we're not sure, instead of sending them a link saying, hey, you're invited to this Boston event or you're invited to this Chicago event, we send them this hub link that has a master landing page that links all of our 16 or all of our 14 events, and they can go and find the city that is where they want to attend. Maybe they're traveling to LA and they want to go there, or they live in Boston. So that was just one of the easiest things that we did to scale these road shows. And then using Splash to send out all of the invites, the reminders, the confirmations, using it to check in. It was just such a seamless, really easy process for our team so that we could just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat.
Awesome. Well, I love to hear that we're a part of your secret sauce. But
yeah, we couldn't do it without you. So thanks for being a great partner.
Of course. Likewise. So in parting, I would love to get your advice for teams looking to go from one-off events into scaled programs. As a pro, like, how do you get started? If you could share, some of your seasoned advice with our audience.
Yeah, I think it's just all about simplifying. Get the secret sauce for your organization that works. For us, we rely on our values. A lot of our values are Shoshin, which means like beginner's mind, and success for all. So success for all of our customers is success for us, and the childlike joy. So we bring all those values, and when we're thinking about designing an event, so that we're showcasing customers like to buy from companies that they like to do business with and do good. So highlight those things. If you have great company values, showcase those in your events. Simplify, find a tool or a partner that makes things easy for you. For us, it's Splash is one of the tools that helps us sort of rinse and repeat. That's been super great. And market your programs, market. We always say marketing. So market to the sales team, market to sales leadership, make sure you're sharing the results. That's one of the things too, that I think as you share results and show what these programs are doing to help sales sell more, it's going to really help sales buy in, and you're going to get more support across your organization that's going to allow you to do more and more, get more budget, get more headcount, get more bandwidth, things like that. Our first quarter roadshow, we had 400 attendees. We had about $20 million in influenced ARR, 300 AQLs, 40 SQLs, which is an opportunity. We had similar results in Q3. So like for us talking about event-led growth, I'm constantly sharing those metrics with our leadership and with the sales organization. 50% of our attributed pipeline last quarter came from our events. So and that's in the new business segment. So I would just recommend scaling, keeping it simple, and just marketing yourself to all of the other organizations so that they support you, and then you can just grow and scale.
I love it. The marketing is truly, truly secret sauce. I think without that like team revenue lift, I'm with you. I feel like events are so much more powerful when you get the entire revenue team, CX, sales, involved, and then being able to, showcase your wins, which obviously, Emily, you have many to showcase. I'm seeing the wow in the chat. So definitely an incredible resource and event-led growth pioneer here. But we, really appreciate you sharing your journey and your advice with us.
Yeah, and I'll try to answer a few of these questions in the chat too, if we before we wrap, if we have time to. I can send some messages.
Yeah, and we'll definitely follow up if we can't get to all of these. But I know there was a question about accountability on sales and how to get the right attendees to attend. Any kind of sales and marketing alignment secret sauce there you want to share?
It's a tough one. I think everyone struggles with this. This is the magic solution. We haven't solved it completely, but we do, our marketing team, part of the reason we are successful and can scale and can do so many is we take on a lot of that ourselves. So we pull the list, we work with sales, we send everything on behalf of sales, whether it's through Splash or through outreach or whatever. We're taking all that legwork and just partnering with our friends, but not relying on them as much. And that's helped us quite a bit. It's a lot of work, but it does help you rinse and repeat for sure.
Definitely. I think we do a Slack integration to kind of align our sales team. So everybody kind of knows who's registering and what account it is and, connect that. So it's really helpful for us.
Yeah. Keep your friends in sales informed, but maybe don't always rely on them is maybe the strategy for some organizations.
Yep, that's fair. Well, I think we're at time. Emily, thank you so much. Nearbound audience and hosts, thank you for having us. We love talking about event-led growth, so we appreciate the time.